Gosh. Then I dropped the mic. On top of it all. All right, we're that feedback might be from the music up above. I'm not positive. It probably is. It's been that kind of morning already. Not that we've had much time this morning. But hey, good morning, good morning, good morning. How are you, my friend? How are you, my friend? Dude, today is Monday. That's right, today is Monday. What is today's date? Today is Monday, November 10th. All right, I'm gonna message because I'm running way late. So today is Monday. I just let Mary Lynn know because I'm running late. So she'll probably let the rest of the people know. But today is Monday, November 10th, 2025. That's right, today is Monday, November 10th, 2025. And what's crazy is today is the very first and the very last time it'll ever be Monday. First and last time it'll ever be Monday, November 10th, 2025. So I want to make sure we make the absolute most. And I do mean the absolute most of this absolutely incredible, that's right, incredible day. I'm coming to you live from Kansas City. I am coming to you live from Kansas City. Let me make sure we're live. At least I think I am. November 10th, 2025. Yes, Ramon, hi. Great to see you, sir. Great to see you, sir. If you guys would, go ahead and tag your friends real quick. Boom, boom, boom. Let them know that we're here because we are 17 minutes behind this morning. It is 4:30 or 4:47, 4:50 a.m. here in Kansas City. I arrived here in Kansas City at 2 a.m. at the hotel that I'm at now, got settled into the hotel room, and at 2:30 a.m. I was like, get an hour and 30 minutes of sleep, or just not even an hour and 30 minutes. It was like, get an hour of sleep or just get up or stay up and then do the show at 4:30 a.m. And I was like, bro, we are exhausted. We've been up since yesterday morning at 3:50 a.m. And so it's like, we are exhausted. Let's go ahead and get that hour. Plus, right after the show, we are speaking to a large, growing corporation out here in Kansas City. I'm speaking to them I've got to be over there at 8 o'clock this morning and kicking off their event. So we have a huge event that is happening here in Kansas City. That event starts tonight. Now that it's Monday, that event starts tonight. Their company that throws the event is having a corporate kickoff going into the event. And so they asked me to come out for the corporate kickoff. So I'll be speaking at that at 8 o'clock. By the time the show's over, it'll be 5 a.m. here. Then obviously work out and get ready, so on and so forth. So basically, the entire plan was like, all right, cool. We're just gonna have to roll through it all with an hour of sleep, and then maybe we'll take a little nap a little bit later today. We can take a little nap because the event itself doesn't kick off till 5 p.m. So that was the plan. So we traveled through the night last night. There was not any issues when it came to government shutdown type stuff. There were no issues as far as that goes. We did have an hour delay on each leg of the flight, but ultimately we made our way across the country, landed here in Kansas City, got to the rental car place right as they were closing. So thank goodness for that. What a gift and what a blessing that was. Got to the rental car place just as they were closing, picked up our car, drove to the hotel, got to the hotel at 2 o'clock in the morning, got to the room 2:30 a.m. So went to sleep for 1 hour, what was supposed to be 1 hour, ended up waking up like 40 minutes later. It was 3:10 a.m. and then I was like, oh bro, just get up. And then next thing you know, slept 20 minutes past when I wanted to sleep, which is ultimately why, all that to say It's ultimately why today's episode of Rise and Grind started 20 minutes late. Now, here's the crazy part about everything that I just told you. As if everything I told you just wasn't crazy enough. The crazy part about everything that I just told you is, technically, I didn't need to tell you. Because you see, 99% of the people that watch this show, Rise and Grind, daily morning show, bringing you motivation, education, and inspiration, 99% of the people that watch this show on replay. 99%. There's only 1% of our viewers. Actually, I guess that number's not correct. It'd be like 4 or 5%. Let's say 5%. 5, because that the daily live number is growing. So 5% of our viewers actually watch live. So what I could do is I can just start the show at whatever time, not tell anybody exactly what time it is. 95% of the people would have no clue, and there would be 5% that would know. Or option number 2, talk about it here on the show and have 100% of the people know. And so I choose every single time this happens, every single time we're a little bit late, every single time we're a little bit delayed, I choose to say thank you to those of you that show up with me every day at 5:30 a.m. Thank you so much. You mean the world to me. Paul Brinley means the world to me. Marilyn Wilkin means the world to me. Malika Carey, you mean the world to me. Antonio Barbosa, you mean the world to me. Wendy Reeves, you mean the world to me. Young Johnson, Trisha Rue, Tanya Colquhoun, you guys mean the world to me. And if it wasn't for you, the accountability for the discipline that I have in my life would not exist. And I know this to be true. I know this to be true. We started Rise and Grind January of 2018. That's 7 years, going on 8 years now. Now, over that time, there's been a couple different iterations and a couple different seasons. And there's been some seasons where I just took the show off for, I don't even know how the longest gap that it was that I did no show at all. But I got to tell you, my life is better with you in it. It is. My life is better with you in it. Now, is it far more challenging while traveling across the country to show up for a show at 4:30 in the morning, Kansas City time? Yeah. To get to your hotel at 2 o'clock in the morning, to get to the hotel at 2 o'clock in the morning, to get to sleep at 2:30 in the morning, to be live at like 2 hours later. Is that hard? Yeah. Is it challenging? Yeah. Would it be easier to not do that? Yeah. Does anybody pay me to be here? No. Nobody pays me to be here, but my life is so much better with you in it. Like, that's just facts. So that's the first reason I think it's so incredibly important that when we're running a little bit late, even though 95% of the people would never know, I feel like it's crucially important to acknowledge and address my community, those of you that do join me live, and say, hey, yo, my bad. This is my situation. This is what I'm working on. Not excusing it. I am late today. The second reason I think it's important, really important, that we choose to be honest, authentic, integral. I think it's important that we choose to do that, not just for the amazing group of people that might be joining us or that might be directly affected by our decisions, but ultimately when we create the habit and the pattern of being honest, authentic, when we create the habit of pattern of showing ourselves as more than the superheroes that we are, but actually the humans that we are becoming. That might be over some people's heads, but I'll let you sit on that. When we do that, when we have the ability to do that, it allows us to walk in our own, and I can actually walk, like it allows us to walk in our own true, authentic selves, to know that we are being honest, not just to others, but being honest to ourselves. And there's something powerful, man, We see it all the time, right? There is something powerful in those that are authentic, in those that are true, in those that can walk in their authentic selves. There is strength. It's a strength that we can't necessarily grasp. It's a strength that we can't necessarily put our hands on. It's a strength that we can't just pinpoint and say, that person jumps high, that person runs fast, that person talks well, that person is wise. Like, there is just a certain strength in authenticity, not just outward, but inward. You see, I'll get to walk through my day today knowing that I shared my tardiness. And I know some of you are like, dude, it is not a big deal. What are you talking about? How you doing, Troy? How you doing, Kat Perez? How you doing, oh, that's Malika. How you doing, Tony? I think that some of you are like, bro, you are making this way bigger than it is, man. It is not a big deal, bro. It is not a big deal. You're making it way bigger than it is. And the only thing I can say to you, if that's you right now, here's what I can say. Thank you so much. I appreciate your grace and understanding. I do. I appreciate your grace and understanding. But there is a whole lot of truth to the statement. How you do anything is how you do everything. And if you're gonna make excuses in this world, in today, if showing up at a hotel at 2 o'clock in the morning and going to bed at 2:30 is an excuse for you to not keep the commitments or the discipline that you have put on yourself, if that is an excuse, then welcome to a world riddled with shortfalls and unrealized dreams. Welcome to a world where you will fall short of your potential if you believe that 15 minutes doesn't matter, that showing up doesn't matter, that doing the things that are hard doesn't matter. So, all of that to say, thank you for your grace. Thank you for your understanding. Look at this amazing backdrop. I am like inspired. I'm like, holy smokes. So let's do a little dancing. We're gonna share this out, and then I do have a message for you today, now that we've gotten all that out of the way. So what kind of music we got? Hopefully it's loud enough you can hear it. Do it one more time. For those of you that know and those of you that don't know, this is the part of the show where I need you to hit that share button. That's right, I need you to hit that share button, because I believe if we can change the way people start their day, it'll make a massive impact on this planet. I truly believe that. And sometimes all it takes to change the way somebody starts their day is for you, yes, you, to hit that share button. This is also the part of the show where I want to say good morning to you, and I want you to say good morning to me. Whether you're watching live or you're watching replay, say what's up, and I'll say what's up back. How you doing, Trisha Rue? Good morning. Thank you for being here. Maylin Wilkin, good morning. Thanks for being here. Tony Smith is in the building. Thanks for being here, Tony Smith. Robin Wilshans is up in here today. How you doing, Robin? We've also got Kat Perez in the building. Good morning, Kat Perez. We've got Sarah Green. Sarah Green is in the building today. Spencer Nicholson. What's up, Spencer Nicholson? Thanks for being here. Lamont Smith is in the building. Thanks for being here, Lamont. I greatly, greatly, greatly appreciate it. Don't worry, if someone sees you, they will join in. Oh yeah, there's people right on the other side of this computer right now. Wow, Wendy Reeves, good morning. Colleen, good morning. Ramon Ray says, volume is good. Now this is a first, folks. This is a hashtag Rise and Grind first. Ramon Ray says the volume is where we need it to be, so let's go. That's what I'm talking about. Ramon's in the building. Thanks for being here, Ramon. Samantha Star Baker, good morning. Honesty and grace. That's right. Young Johnson is in the building. Lisa Bourne is in the building. Mike Larkin is in the building. Move, move, move. Get your bodies in motion. Michelle Gravely, good morning. Wes Storm, good morning. Jeremy Nolan, good morning. Paul Brindley, let's roll. Let's roll. All right, cool, cool, cool. Check it out. Thank you, guys. Make sure you hit that share button, tag your friends, get them up in here. We are kicking off this week and I am in Kansas City, one of the more inspiring cities, filled with some of the more inspiring people. You know, there are a lot of startup companies here in Kansas City. It's kind of got like a Silicon Valley vibe, if you know what I'm saying. There are a lot of aspirational people. There are a lot of big dreamers in this place. There are a lot of people doing big things. I have a friend named Jason Rice. He's got a company that he's out here in Kansas City. Jason Rice got a company called Lot Pop that he's been building over the last, I don't know, 15 years or something like that. He's been doing an incredible job with that. And then I have my friend Danny Zazlowski. Now there's other people as well, but I mentioned those two for a reason. My friend Danny Zazlowski grew up in the car business. He grew up in the car dealership world. His dad owns an independent dealership. Now, for those of you that are not in the world of auto, you're like, well, what is independent? What does that mean? Independent dealership means you only sell used cars. You do not have a franchise attached to you. So a franchise dealership would be Ford, a franchise dealership would be Honda, franchise dealership would be Hyundai, franchise dealership would be Kia, Mitsubishi, Mercedes, BMW, Ferrari, so on and so forth, right? Those are all franchise dealerships. Independent dealerships only sell used cars. That's it. There's no franchise tag on top. There's no manufacturer support. They don't have a big corporation backing them up. Independent dealerships could be anything from a little dirt lot somewhere in your neighborhood that's got 6 to 12 cars on it, or it could be independent dealerships. There's independent dealerships out there that sell thousands every single month. How are you, sir? Good morning. There are independent dealerships out there that sell thousands of cars every single month. So it can be at any level and any scale. The only difference is a franchise dealership would be clearly a franchise model. Independent dealership would be independent. So Danny's father owned an independent dealership, or still owns an independent dealership here in Kansas City. Danny grew up in that dealership. And in growing up in that dealership, obviously learned many things about the automotive industry. But the primary thing he learned about the automotive industry is he learned that the way that we were managing our inventory and the way that we were, good morning, the way that we were taking the data when it came to our inventory and when it came to how we merchandise our inventory, he realized that that whole system was quite archaic. That it was quite archaic, it was quite behind the times. And so within the dealership, young Danny himself started building out new tools and technology that would make his dealership specifically more successfully. He ended up partnering with a guy named Chris, and together they decided that they were going to take this thing that he was using in his own particular dealership, and they were going to grow the software and scale it and start selling it into dealerships all across the United States. Now, you have to keep in mind, at this point when they had made this decision, there was one main player when it came to the area of inventory management. That main player is owned by Cox Automotive. That main player is a platform called Viato. Now, Viato is something, what's up, Scott Simons, how are you? Viato is something that basically every dealership in the United States has been using for a very long time. There was an incredible guy named Dale Pollock that brought together Viato, and for the first time, dealers were able to see and compare what everybody else's prices were on similar vehicles. So if I had a 20 whatever model Chevy Equinox and you had a 20 whatever model Chevy Equinox, prior to Viato, I had no idea what your prices were listed at, unless of course I checked the newspaper or whatever. But with the advent of the internet came the advent of these tools. How you doing, Brent Johnson? Great to see you this morning. With the advent of the internet came the advent of these tools. And as they, more and more dealers started using these tools, it became this web of information that everybody was able to tap into. This web of information was called Viato. And every dealership in the country, basically, every franchise dealership in the country anyway, not necessarily the independents, but every franchise dealership in the country pretty much used Viato and has been for a very long time. So Danny and his friend Chris, they're like, hey, we're gonna go up against the big bad wolf. We're gonna go up against Viato because sometimes, and you guys have probably experienced this in your lives, in your careers, sometimes when there's not enough competition, when one guy kind of owns all of the things, iPhone, by the way, is an example of this. When one guy kind of owns the market and people will just buy blindly into it, the technology itself doesn't necessarily evolve as fast as it should. So stay with me here. I know I'm giving you a big history lesson, but we're going somewhere with this. So my friend Danny grows up in a dealership, sees that there are many archaic things that are happening in that dealership, decides to create his own technology to evolve that for his store, then decides he's going to go out into the market and take on the big bad wolf of Viato that has a massive footprint, tons of resources, ridiculous amounts of money. And fast forward, here we are today. Today I'm standing in Kansas City, where at 9 o'clock today, I will speak to Danny's corporate team, which is over 100 members deep. His payroll is over $1 million a month. His software company that he started in his little independent store all those years ago now serves over 1,600 car dealers nationwide, franchise dealers. Now these franchise dealers, there's only about 17,000 out there. So he's got 10% of the market, which is a huge bite out of this big bad competition that he was going up against. At this event that we'll have here over the next 3 days, he's got 180 of those dealers. So just over 10% of his current client members will be here, where Danny just chose every year to do an event for those members. He decided that it was important that not only he builds software that scales, but it was really important that he brings people together, equips them with the tools they need to succeed, and inspires them to be great. He decided he would have an event every year here for his members where he would bring in outside voices, outside sources, that he would bring in other players, and ultimately in collaboration, he could get the members that are using his specific tool to come together and build strong bonds and relationships so that together the industry can grow. And see, I find this fascinating and super inspiring because the other platform that I mentioned before was basically the opposite. It was a platform that was designed to tear the industry down one piece at a time. Now, the designer did not know this when he built it, just like the designer of the nuclear bomb had no idea at the time. But ultimately what he built is he built this competitive race to the bottom that not only shrinks, but absolutely destroys dealer business profit margins. And when you destroy dealer business profit margins, you destroy the dealer business. Now, some of you might not care about that. Some of you might say, I don't care if dealers are successful or not. I don't care whether they're profitable or not. I don't care if their businesses grow or not. And I can get why you might feel that way. The auto industry has built a bad rep over many decades. But what's interesting is the auto industry is the second largest industry on planet Earth. During COVID, there were certain industries that were labeled essential. The auto industry was one of them for a reason. You see, it is absolutely crucial that dealerships in this country not just survive, but grow and thrive. It is crucial to the communities those dealerships sit in. It is crucial to the tax structure. It is crucial to the tens and tens of millions of jobs that the auto industry creates. This industry is so ridiculously important because everybody needs to get from point A to point B, and they need to be able to do so affordably and reliably. And so Danny, with his innovation, Danny and his team, Danny and everything that they've ultimately put together over the last few years, is now taking a huge bite And they've created this tool and this community that ultimately brings people together, equips them with the tools they need to succeed, and inspires them to be great. And instead of this competitive race to the bottom that destroys the very roots and fabrics of the auto industry, instead it's a mindset of collaboration and growth that ultimately serves the industry and in the long run serves you. Now see, I'm super inspired by Danny because they're doing it. And let me rephrase that. I'm super inspired by Danny's company, VinQ, because they're doing it against all odds, against all the challenges, against all the struggles, against all the naysayers. They've been able to break through the noise, and they're starting to really, really break through the market. And the software that they've created is not only innovative and incredibly impactful, but the community they're building around it is like nothing I've ever seen. And that's where this comes full circle. I had a conversation with Ramon the other day, and I had a conversation with my team. Some of you are out here trying to build businesses. Some of you are out here trying to build software. Some of you are out here trying to build agencies. Some of you are out here trying to make $1. Some of you are out here building bracelets or horseshoes or whatever it is that you concoct. Some of you are out here trying to get your get on, if you know what I'm saying, and you're missing the most incredible opportunity that's ever existed in you and I's lives. And here it is. I'm going to throw it at you, and this is just the simple truth, as simple as it sounds. Actually, let me back it up real quick. Yeah, I'll just share it with you. The biggest opportunity in 2026 and beyond, the biggest winners, the companies that will grow the most, those that will win the most, that will lean the most. The biggest opportunity that exists is so funny because it's actually tribal. It takes us back thousands of years. The biggest opportunity moving forward is your ability to spark, lead, or participate in building community. Your ability to spark, lead, or participate in building community is the future. That is the future. You might say, well, Glenn, that sounds kind of simple. I've been building community, or I've built community before. No. Intensity, tenacity, building community on a massive scale, with that being the forefront focus of all that you do. Not profitably building community, though that will be a piece and is necessary. Not reciprocally building a community, though it will reciprocate. But putting all of your time, effort, money, and attention on community building is the future. Scott Simons just opened a dealership. His dealership is not going to be successful necessarily because of the software that he chooses and the X's and the O's. His dealership is going to be successful because of the community that he has around him and the community that he permeates into. Community will determine the success. I used to run a very large dealership and had the honor and blessing of running with a guy named Josh Cummins and Dusty Cummins, guys named Josh and Dusty Cummins. And the biggest secret sauce to it was we built a community with inside the organization, and it was a community that permeated to the outside. When you look at companies like Peloton that have grown through community, or you look at Stephen Bartlett, who just sold his podcast, I believe Ramon said, for $500 million. It's because he built a massive community. If you look at the number one podcast in the world right now, the number one podcast in the world, as controversial as it might be, the number one podcast in the world, Candace, was built because she built community. As we continue to move into a time and a season As we continue, it's so dark in here, bro. As we continue to move, what do you guys think about this backdrop? Is this backdrop dope or what? As we continue to move into a season where people are feeling more and more lonely, more and more distant, more and more disconnected, right? As that continues to happen, the way that it used to be in the past was there was just corporations and they were kind of faceless and nobody knew who was at the top and nobody really cared. And it was all just kind of data and S&Ps and so on and so forth. All of that is shifting. Community building is the key. Look at the High Rocks community that has been built around that. Patrick Bet-David, I don't know if I mentioned him, he's built a massive community and it's been incredibly impactful. Apple, when you look at Apple is not about the best product. It never has been and it never will be, and you guys can say whatever you want. Apple is about die-hard community. A die-hard community. There are clubs that are opening up in New York City where you have to check your phone in at the door. There are people that are paying other people to go on walks with them. There is a massive shift in humanity where we are going back to our roots. And the roots are doing life together, collaboration, community. So that's my full circle moment for you today. See, Danny with VinQ has built what he's built and is going to continue to dominate in this space because he's focused on community first. He doesn't have to hold events like this. These events are really, really expensive. They take a lot of time, effort, and energy. He doesn't have to do this for his clients. He doesn't have to do this for his members. He doesn't have to invite me out. He doesn't have to do any of those things. He could just plug away building software, plug away building software, plug away building software. He could do that, but ultimately he would not be successful. You cannot take on the big dogs that way. The only way moving forward is through community. The only way moving forward is through collaboration. The only way moving forward is through the relationships that you can build in today's day that are ultimately going to impact each other. When you can lead, participate in, be a spark for building community, you are tapping into the future. Information used to be the most valuable thing on planet Earth. It is not anymore. In the world of AI, information has lost value. Before, if you had some specialized knowledge, it was worth all the money in the world. That specialized knowledge is accessible now by billions of people through these AI tools. Your specialized knowledge is no longer so special. Information, the value of information is dropping rapidly. The value of community is building exponentially. So get on the right side. My friend Brooke Guy. Brooke, I told you I was talking to the team about this, and I was talking with Brooke about this the other day. She's one of our 800% Club members. And in 800% Club even, we got really focused. We are a community, but we got really focused on building a better platform. We got really focused on having better software. We got really focused on, some of those different aspects, the training aspect, the consulting aspect. And we never lost sight of building our community, but we did not prioritize building our community. And that has been a mistake that our company has made. And luckily for me, I'm surrounded by incredible people like Brooke and others that are willing to go on this journey with me and help me to see the error of my ways and the potential in the future. We are shifting as a community or as a business going into 2026 to be community first. You're going to see this 800% brand all over the place. Global, worldwide. We are going to build an 800% community. That's what's happening. And within it, we will have training. And within it, we will have consulting. Within it, we will have coaching. That'll be within it, but it will not be the focus. The focus is on building the community itself. So I want to challenge you right now. If you have a software piece, a business idea, there's a book that you want to write, whatever it is, focus on building community first and layer all of these products, all of these things that you want to put together. Good morning, Brooke. Layer those things into the concept of building community, the concept of collaboration, the concept of bringing people together. That's my message for you this morning, delivered a little bit late. For those of you that came in late, today's message was delivered a little late. For those of you that are like, why is he still live at 6:20? I'm still live, A, because I ran over, but B, I started a little late because I'm coming to you from Kansas City, and I didn't get to my hotel room until 2:30 in the morning. And then I needed to wake up an hour later, and instead I woke up like an hour and 20 minutes later. And so I was 20 minutes late to doing my show. But the message got out, and I hope that you're inspired by it. That looks like the moon. You guys see that? I don't know. Oh, it's a building, but it kind of looks like a moon back there. You see that right there? Kind of looks like the moon. Anyways, coming to you live from Kansas City. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I got stuff to do, communities to build, and communities to make an impact in, and what a gift that is. And you do too. So let's get after it. I'll see you tomorrow morning, 4:30 a.m. my time, 5:30 a.m. Eastern. We'll do it all over again right here on #RiseAndGrind. Have a great day. Peace.
It's 5:30 a.m. and the world's awake. Glenn Lundy in the house, no time to break. Husband to one, father to nine.
None of these clips have anything to do with what I just talked about. Nothing. I was just trying to run some sort of clip to get us off screen. How about that? There we go. Peace. See ya.